Well, here we are at the Adelaide Central Market on a fairly brisk Friday afternoon. You can see that it's brisk because Michelle's got how many jackets on?
Oh, I reckon I've got 3 layers on.
Yeah, at least.
Not like your beautiful.
It's
alpaca
lovely,
jacket.
isn't it? I love you touching me like that too. Really warms me up quickly. Hey, listen, female sport or women's sport at the moment, it's in the spotlight, which is a great thing. But what the spotlight is on at the moment is AFL women's football. What does that mean for your sport, netball, and probably other women's sports as well?
Yeah, I think, look, honestly, I was reflecting on that over the last couple of months because ultimately it is a business and there's so much money that can go around. And even though AFL Women is prominent in our eyes at the moment, it's going to be interesting over the next 24 to 48 months about where does the money come from to grow it to another level. It also then comes of what are the players doing and how much money do they want to earn? And when they start comparing netball versus AFL, players associations get involved, who knows? But there's only so much money that we can spend and there's not a lot of it.
You know, I was really amazed actually, the sort of profile and sort of success that the AFLW got. And I understand now that at a junior level, of course, there's quite big numbers leaving the traditional sports, be it netball and basketball and other sports as well. Now, that doesn't have an impact immediately, but there will be an impact at some stage, especially if it stays up the top.
Oh, look, and I actually think it's a really positive thing because what it does to sports like netball, it makes them accountable for their grassroots. And I think that netball attracts a certain clientele of girl. You know, it's a clean profile, it's without getting in too deep, there's so many different characters of a female athlete, and kids today should be able to choose, do they want to get dirty, down, rough, on an oval, do they want to play soccer or footy, or do they want to go onto a netball court where it's not quite the same? And I don't have daughters luckily, but if I did, why shouldn't they be able to choose? So I think it's a fantastic thing that we can give this opportunity.
Now you see, you're glad you don't have daughters?
No, I don't. I know. I would love to have daughters, but it happened that I had all boys. But likewise, the same thing for boys. They do have heaps of variety in schools, and so it's just another opportunity. But as a sport, netball now are under pressure because they have to make sure that we're competitive across the board. Yeah, look,
and the Thunderbirds, and we'll get onto them too, they're under enormous pressure at the moment because things haven't been working the way we thought they might or hoped they could.
That's called karma.
Well, I think you're right though. I mean, it's there were some big decisions made, and you know, usually the people that make these decisions aren't real accountable, but someone needs to be accountable for the current predicament.
It's an interesting one without, you know, and I don't want to be negative because I want to see the Thunderbirds doing exceptionally well. Unfortunately, we weren't prepared to wait last year to invest in the success of our juniors. And I remember when I got the position, one of the things I spoke about is it doesn't happen straight away. We don't build success on a culture over 6 months. It takes 2 to 3 years, and we're seeing that in the AFL. And unfortunately, it was time for me to walk away, and it has happened this year that they have won one game for the season, but unfortunately they've lost all the kids that really were their future, and they're going to have to rebuild again.
So they're back to square one, which is disappointing. So what about the sport of netball in this state, though, Michelle, in South Australia? How does it look from the ground up?
Look, I think that we are in a little bit of trouble in South Australia because we are what we call a boutique state. When we get great athletes, we don't get many of them, and it's really important in South Australia that we look after our athletes because they are true bred and born South Australians, and they want to call us South Australia home. But in today's modern world of elite sport and high performance sport, how do you compete with a player wanting to go and play with Collingwood or Greater Western Sydney when they've got resources like, you know, what they have at the Holden Centre in Melbourne? I know if I was a young kid, I'd be looking at, well, what can you do for me?
Stars
what does it look like?
Sure.
Stars in my eyes, and I want to go and give it a go in the eastern states. So we're in a bit of trouble, and how do you recruit new players when you're on the bottom of the ladder?
Yeah, true enough.
There's only so many players around.
Commonwealth Games ahead. I think at one stage you were part of an exhibition.
Absolutely.
When was that? 1990-ish?
Around then, I won't divulge my age, but the last one...
When you were 4.
Yeah, when I was 4. The last one, gold at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow as an assistant coach. I've got such great fond memories, and being on the Gold Coast, look, I'll be there, and it'll be an exciting time for the Gold Coast.
And for netball too.
And for netball, definitely. That rivalry between Australia and New Zealand is actually becoming a bit more threatened. There's other teams, England, we've got South Africa doing really well. Malawi with all the fantastic,
yeah.
dark, beautiful, athletic
Yeah.
women out there. So
Got my attention.
Yeah. Well, come on, have a look. But it's an amazing sport, and I think that Australia, they're doing really well, but you can never take it for granted. There's great competitors out there.
Some exciting but challenging times ahead,
Absolutely.
which is a good thing.
Oh, look, that's what you want. Competition breeds success, and you want to be pushed. And, as a player, you're always wanting someone on the bench to give you a bit of a shove along because it makes you the best you can. So there are challenging times here for Thunderbirds in Adelaide, but, it'd be great to see them come back to where they were, 5-6 years ago. But it has been 4 years in the making, and wish them every luck.
Yeah, let's hope so. Michelle Den Decker, one of the greats of netball in this country. Let's see how netball stands up in the future. It's back to the SA Sports Show.